hold on to it the best.
You're very right, Jeff. You know, we prepared for this game just like the players, and you have all these stats and you look at all the matchups, but with this weather, we've had a steady rain since about 3:30 or 4 o'clock. You really just have to throw that out the window, and whoever can do the best job tonight, hold on to the ball and not make the turnovers, that's going to probably be the key.
Northwestern set to kick off. Northwestern came in here earlier this year, won 21-10. Kyle Saverin slips on the kickoff. It comes down to about the 21-yard line. And with Dorman running across the 40-yard line, and that was Marcus Boyd, one of the up men for the Cavaliers, and Dorman starts in excellent field position at about the 43.
Excellent field position, but you know, as a strong defense, I'd rather in this type of weather put my defense out there first, let them get the first shots and maybe get a turnover early.
Andrew Hewitt, Shrine Ball quarterback for Dorman. Jack Ross, North-South All-Star, is at tailback. They have excellent skill position people. Kendrick Lynch, Matt Cohn, Jarvis Nesbitt, Eric Fowler are the wideouts, and they run from the shotgun. And Hewitt fakes it to Ross, keeps it, hit behind the line of scrimmage and stacked up for a loss of about 3. Jawan Marshall in on the play for Northwestern, and really the defensive front, which has done such a great job for Northwestern all year, made great penetration and stopped Hewitt for a loss of 3 on Dorman's first play. Paul Lyons is at an end. Jake Russell, Chris Minton the tackles, and Josh Beasley is at nose guard. Northwestern, their starting defense has given up just 1 score the last 4 weeks, and that was the field goal against Rock Hill. Second down call at 12 as they spot the ball at the Dorman 41. Hewitt back to throw, has some time, now rolls. Hewitt tries to get to the corner and does, and is run out of bounds short of midfield, just across the 45.
Great downfield coverage that time by the Trojans. They had all the receivers blanketed. Hewitt had way too much time. He was finally flushed out of the pocket and picked up some positive yards, but hats off to the secondary for Northwestern that time.
It's a 5-yard gain to the Cavalier 46. It'll be 3rd down and 7. Last week, Northwestern held Stratford to 152 total yards, just 31 in the first half. Stratford, a team which had not scored less than 21 points in a game all year. Here is Hewitt, chased, throws under pressure. It is almost intercepted at midfield by C.J. Barber, who picked one off and ran it in for a touchdown here in the regular season and came real close right there.
And Chris Minton, you got to credit him. He had the pressure on Hewitt. He was taking him down, forced him to get that throw off balance, and really almost set up that interception.
C.J. Barber had 2 interceptions here in that earlier game. Hewitt has thrown just 7 interceptions for the year, and Barber was named the Upper State Player of the Week for his performance.
And Hewitt, who's thrown 7 interceptions this year, threw 3 in that Northwestern game.
Roderick McCrory had the other one. Hewitt is their punter. He averages 40 yards a kick. And he rides it out of there. It will bounce inside the 25 and roll dead at about the 22. First look at the Northwestern offense. So the defense forces a 3 and out, and the offense, with Bobo Thompson, who had maybe his best game of the year last week, 110 on the ground, 2 touchdowns, 112 in the air with 2 more touchdowns. He really clearly outplayed the all-star quarterback for Stratford, Dwayne Lina.
He's making good decisions back there, and he's really matured as a quarterback. We saw him against Somerville and just did a great job that first playoff game.
Here is Justin Rainey, and Rainey spins his way across the 25, close to the 30-yard line.
And you know, Jeff, Northwestern has matured offensively all throughout most of the season. They were really kind of a big play. They had very few sustained drives, but that has really changed lately. They've been able to grind it out and get some big yardage drives and really hold on to the ball.
Good first-yard run by Justin Rainey, 7 yards, and it'll be 2nd down and 3. Rainey again, the tailback in the eye, and again takes the handoff. And Rainey crosses the 30-yard line, appears to have enough for a first down to about the 33.
That time the Northwestern front line really took care of Chris Swindler, number 95. One of the top performers for Dorman along that line. He was pushed back immediately on that play, double teamed, and really pushed back about 3 yards from the line of scrimmage.
Up front for Northwestern, Cliff Conan is the left tackle, Barrett Maynard's the left guard, Trey Hernandez the center, Matt Garner right guard, and Cale Conant is the right tackle. First down at the 33. And again, it's Justin Rainey off the right side, hit near the line of scrimmage and thrown back. Emil Gibson, number 94, 296-pound defensive tackle, North-South All-Star, in on the play for Dorman. Jason Dyer and Timothy Rice are the ends. Gibson and Chris Swindler, the tackles. The linebackers are Marcus Boyd, Lee McKenzie, Steve Mills, and Jack Ross. On the corners, Trey Glover and Galen Gilliam. And the safety is Trey Fisher.
And how Emil Gibson and Chris Swindler play along that front line are going to be keys for Dorman. Northwestern, of course, they need to control that line, and those two are the key.
2nd and 10 at the 33. Rainey again. And Rainey close to the 40-yard line. Hit, I think they're going to give him to about the 38 for a gain of 5. It'll be 3rd down and 5. Broderick McCrory and Brandon Pay will be the wideouts for Northwestern. The tight end, Chuck Slaughter. The fullback, Jonathan Williams. Third down and 5 at the Northwestern 38. We're scoreless. Northwestern's first possession. One back set with Rainey in the backfield. Thompson takes out on the option. He's hit as he tries to turn upfield and stopped after a gain of just 1.
Well defensed that time by Dorman. Thompson really had nothing to do there except keep that ball, and he just tried to wait it out. There was no room. Dorman closed in, made the tackle, bringing up 4th down.
Jack Ross and Reggie Rice also in on that play. 4th down and 4. Northwestern will have to kick, and that is Kyle Saverance to punt the ball, and he just about gets it out of there. Kicked it short, and it'll roll dead to the 34-yard line. Well, we're used to seeing Jonathan Williams punt the ball. It's Saverance.
Williams, of course, not in on that 3rd down play, so we'll have to keep an eye on that and see if Williams is banged up a little bit.
So Saverance really has had problems with his footing on both the opening kickoff and that punt. And Dorman will take the ball at the 34.
And it'll be interesting to watch the field condition tonight, because the area they were just playing in is pretty well, torn up for a first series, and just being in the first quarter, we're going to have to watch that through the evening.
Andrew Hewitt in the shotgun. He gives the ball to Jack Ross, trying to get to the outside. Northwestern, good speed on defense, and they'll stop Ross for a loss of a couple.
Corey Harvey, Juwan Marshall, and I believe C.J. Barber all in there on the tackle. Corey had him sighted from the beginning. Great speed running him down there.
It's hard to turn the corner against those guys. We set the defensive front. Juwan Marshall, Corey Harvey, Denzel Hinton, the linebackers, Tony Nelson, Adrian Hart on the corners, Jonathan Joseph and C.J. Barber, the safeties. And it'll be 2nd down and 12 for the Cavaliers at the 32. They get trips out to the long side of the field. And Hewitt on the fake will keep it himself. Room off the right. And Hewitt is tripped up near the 40-yard line. And that was Broderick McCrory who made a good open field tackle.
Good open field tackle and a good decision by Hewitt. He cut that inside. He had one block out on the outside, and he cut it back inside right behind that blocker. Good choice there.
Hewitt has really put up good numbers, both throwing and running the ball, although I don't really think he's as nifty as Trey Rogers was running it, their quarterback last year. The last 4 quarterbacks they've had have made postseason all-star teams. Call it the 40-yard line, 3rd down and about 4.5.
And the rain picks up here in the first period.
Fake it to Ross. Hewitt on the keeper will have a first down across the 45. Corey Harvey made the tackle, but not before Hewitt picks up Dorman's first down tonight.
Take the handoff to the right-hand side, took it himself on the left hand. A lot of penetration off the left edge that time, but Hewitt cuts back inside that penetration for a first down.
Dorman runs a lot of misdirection. Hewitt again in the shotgun. The center is a Shrine Ball player, Derek Compton has a good battle tonight with that nose guard, Josh Beasley. Here is Ross getting into the secondary across the 50-yard line.
Fumble.
And the ball came out late, loose at midfield. And it looks like Dorman got it back. And they did.
They did. They end up losing a couple of yards on that, a very late fumble. In the last two plays, Jeff, Northwestern, they get good penetration. They're firing off the line on that defense, but Dorman's able, with that misdirection, to just run inside that first wave of penetration.
Play gained 4 yards, and it'll be 2nd down and 6. Really would have gained a little bit more than that had it not been for the fumble. Here is Hewitt to throw it. Paul Lyons after him. They set up the screen, and Jack Ross drops the football.
Interesting call that time. They had 4 wideouts for the first time this evening. And not typical to see a screen with those 4 wideouts. They look like they tried to take the Trojan defensive backs downfield, dump off that little screen in between that penetration, and with those defensive backs pulled back, but couldn't quite pull that one off.
Well, Dorman is a team that always features the short passing game, and they like to let their receivers run with it after the catch. They've been doing that for a lot of years now. They put up good passing numbers, but they don't go deep all that much. 3rd down and 6. Trips to the long side. Hewitt with time. Now he steps up, finds a lane to run to the 50-yard line, and not much further than that. It'll be 4th down.
Corey Harvey there, wrapping him up and taking him down short of the 1st down. Great open field tackle by Harvey. Corey got a little dinged up last week, had a slight concussion. I happened to talk to his mom on Monday. She said he was doing just fine and no hesitation about playing this week. The doctors had cleared him, and he was ready to go.
And Corey's made a couple of key plays already defensively for Northwestern. They'll get the ball back as Hewitt will punt. And this one bounding inside the 20 and is down at about the 17. So Northwestern will get another shot. 4:29 first quarter. Let's pause for this.
1 out of every 2 area high school graduates.
From the eye, Jonathan Williams, the fullback, in front of Rainey, and they give it to Williams up to about the 20.
Northwestern key here would be just get a few first downs and change the field position here. Dorman started the game with a short kick and a good return. They've had the advantage so far on field position.
And field position a key with the conditions as they are, and a steady rain, which figures to last at least until the end of this game. 2nd down and 8. Thompson to Rainey, and Rainey for 2, maybe 3 yards, about the 22, call it 3rd and 6.
Steve Mills there for Dorman, along with another Cavalier, and Rainey just did a good job ducking that in and making something positive out of it.
Thompson has not thrown it yet tonight. See if he puts it up here. Hit some big ones last week. 4 completions, 2 of them touchdowns, 112 yards. McCrory right, Hay left on 3rd and 6. Running the option. Thompson, 25, 30, and stumbles across the first down stripe for a first down near the 33-yard line, a gain of 11.
And that time you got to credit Chuck Slaughter, the tight end, along with Jonathan Williams. They really got out and sealed off that end. They were the key to picking up that first down by Thompson.
Bobo, a dangerous runner on the option. And the thing about Thompson is that if the pitch is there, he'll make it 15, 20 yards upfield.
Kind of a lost art. It used to be more popular when the option was run by more offenses, but Thompson, you're right, he'll pitch it way down the field.
First down at the 33. And Thompson
Great
to
inside
Williams,
handoff.
and Williams up near the 40-yard line.
Beautiful inside handoff by Thompson.
Troy Fisher, the safety, makes the tackle after a gain of 6 to the 39. 2nd down and 4, and raining hard. 2:15 and running, the game scoreless in the first. Officials trying to keep the ball dry between plays. Rainey is the lone setback on 2nd and 4. Rainey takes the handoff. He's bumped at the line of scrimmage. Spins his way for a yard.
Jack Ross leading the charge there for the Cavaliers. Hard hit.
Ross loves contact. I mean, whether he's running the ball or playing defense, he's always looking to hit somebody. And Ross is kind of a strange kid. He has, under that helmet, he's got dreadlocks that he hasn't cut in 3 years. And he has a huge tattoo on his back, which he says was the most painful thing he's ever experienced. 3rd down and 3 at the 40.
I think Rainey made him experience a little pain there. He tried to dish it out, but Rainey did just as well, giving it back to him.
Well, their stats are almost identical, too. Here is Williams on the inside give, and he appears to have a 1st down.
Referee running out to spot. It looks like he's got it.
You look at the stats of the two tailbacks, Ross and Rainey, and they're almost identical. Number of carries even. Rainey has about 15 yards more than Ross does. They're both over 1,000. Rainey has 19 touchdowns to Ross's 14 coming in. 1st down at the 44.
To have a 1st down by the Trojans. One other thing that's going to be a little confusing for us, the guys run the balls in and out. They happen to be using yellow towels on the sideline. Every once in a while you see this yellow towel fly up and you think there's a penalty after the play.
Here is Rainey, and Rainey's up to about the 48 for a gain of 4. We're inside a minute to play in the 1st quarter.
Got a Trojan down, looks like one of the Conants.
They come out and take a look at the Northwestern player. Game scoreless late in the 1st quarter. Let's pause for this. 2nd down and 6 at the 48. They'll miss Big Cliff if he's out for any length of time. Here's Williams, and Williams has a yard to the 49.
Might be the last play of the 1st quarter as we are 20 seconds and counting.
It'll be 3rd down and 5 for Northwestern, so these teams content to play pretty vanilla football in the 1st quarter in the rain here at Spartanburg. And that will do it for the 1st, with Northwestern and Dorman scoreless after 1.
You've made a substantial
In the 1st quarter, Dorman had just 1. And Northwestern looks at 3rd and 5 to start the 2nd. Thompson runs the option. He breaks a tackle. 1st down and more. Inside the 40 and rolled down at about the 29.
Nice run by Thompson. Looked like he was going to be stopped short of the 1st down. And then the last man downfield was able to make a touchdown-saving tackle.
That was Trey Fisher, their free safety. So good run by Bobo Thompson of 22 yards to the Dorman 29. And that's the biggest gain of the night. Two excellent defensive teams. Both teams consecutive shutouts coming into this game. Here is Rainey with a hole, and Rainey gets to the 25.
Another nice hole opened up. Ken Lynch that time makes a diving tackle of Rainey.
Kendrick Lynch is Dorman's fastest player. He runs a 4.29. He's just a sophomore. There's not many people walking around that run a sub 4.3.
Not at all. And good news for the Trojans. Cliff Connick comes back in. Shaken up a few plays ago. He missed about 3 plays, and he's back in for the Trojans.
2nd down and 6 at the 25. McCrory is wide out to the right. Thompson to Rainey trying to pick his way. And finds a little bit of a crack, gets 2 yards to the 23. Marcus Boyd makes the tackle for Dorman, 3rd down and 4.
Justin Rainey on the carry, 3rd down.
Trojans just taking what Dorman's given them. They're content to keep finding different plays, different ways of running, yet to really even look for a pass at this point in the game.
And Thompson has kept it a few times on the option, but he really hasn't looked downfield at all. 3rd and 4.
He's made good decisions on when to take that inside handoff, when to keep it himself.
There's the inside give to Jonathan Williams, close to the 20-yard line. Going to be 4th down and about 1.
Good position early in the game. I don't think the Trojans will even hesitate about going for this one.
Well, I don't think this is going to be much of a night for field goals. 4th and short.
4th down coming.
Dorman fans down below us here on the home side of the field cheering on their team, and Northwestern is going to take a timeout with 9:43 left in the first half.
We're scoreless, but Northwestern with the best-looking drive of the night so far. Ends are tight, and they give to Williams, big hole. Jonathan Williams for a first down inside the 15.
Great hole and a great decision there.
Fisher on the stop defensively.
And, you know, with Chris Swindler lined right up over the center, I think that's a good call by the Trojans. Swindler, very tough nose guard for the Dorman Cavaliers, and I just don't know if a quarterback sneak would have been the right call in that situation.
Northwestern's made good use of that give to the fullback. 6 yards there, first down at the 14. And there it is again. And again, yardage for Jonathan Williams.
Looked like a carbon copy of the fourth down play. Same size hole. He's getting about 5 yards before he's even being touched by the linebackers and the defensive backs of the Cavaliers.
Down to about the 7-yard line. Second down and 3.
You know, Jonathan had a good game in District 3 against Somerville, the first playoff game.
Had 2 touchdowns that night.
Rambled, I think, about 21 yards on one of those.
Second and 3 at the 7. Thompson to Williams again. He's inside the 5-yard line to about the 4. He should be close to a first down. We'll see where they mark it.
Looks like he's going to be just short if they've... looks like it's going to bring up 3rd and short here.
I think they're going to mark it closer to the 5-yard line. 3rd down. Really not that bad a deal to be short of the sticks, because it basically gives you another play if you can make it here. 3rd down and 1. Sneak by Bobo. He's got the first down.
And again, just a good decision. They're taking what Dorman's given them. Looked like Dorman had shifted their alignment that time, left a little bit of gap to the left of the center, and Thompson just followed right in behind.
Bobo Thompson gets to about the 2-yard line.
This is the second possession for the Trojans. The Cavaliers have had it twice. We're at 7:45 and counting, so the Trojans trying to make the most of this possession here in the second quarter.
Looks like points are going to be precious tonight. 1st and goal at the 2. Thompson to Jonathan Williams.
Touchdown.
And Williams did a lot of work on that drive.
Came up with a big 4th down run on that left side. Again, gained about 7 on the first down play right after that. They found something there on that left side, and they just keep using Williams to exploit it.
An 82-yard scoring drive for Northwestern, and that's a tough thing to do under these conditions.
And the first points given up by Dorman in the playoffs as well. Both teams coming in with 2 shutouts. So as you said, points will be precious and few tonight.
Kyle Saverance for the extra point. William Wright to hold.
Saverance.
And the kick by Saverance is good. Northwestern draws first blood 7-0 with 7:29 to play first half. And plays all of it on the ground. And Northwestern leads 7-0. Jonathan Williams will kick off. Williams getting into the end zone from 2 yards out. Don't know if he meant to do that. It's a loose ball. Still loose, and Dorman's going to recover it just outside the 30-yard line.
Well, you know, Saverance kicked off, and he had problems with his footing, so they tried Williams that time. Looked like he slipped and got underneath it.
Well, I don't know if he meant to do it, but it
he caught a
almost was effective. The ball was loose a couple of times.
It caught the Trojans as much off guard as it did Dorman. It looked like they were not as aggressive as they could have been.
The ball at the 32-yard line. And it's a great job of keeping Dorman's offense off the field. A 17-play drive. Hewitt out of the shotgun. They shovel it to Kendrick Lynch, and he is hit for a loss by Denzel Hinton, number 41.
First hit of the night by Hinton, and boy, he really read that play well and was there to tag the runner.
That Northwestern defense playing its best football the last 4 weeks, and they've been great all year.
They really have. They've played so well all year, but they really stepped it up a notch. Looks like they're going to be forced to call a timeout. They couldn't get their personnel right.
7-0 Northwestern. Let's take a break for this.
You've made a substantial investment in your truck.
At the 28. Hewitt with Hinton after him. Set up the middle screen, and it is incomplete as the ball hit the ground before Lynch could make the catch on it.
Hinton came with pressure that time, and I tell you, it almost set up an interception once again.
Yeah, Hinton lined up at defensive end and was really untouched going to the quarterback. 3rd and 14.
Second time tonight, C.J. Barber has almost benefited from that pressure.
So a long yardage situation, you don't want to get into those throwing a wet football. Eric Fowler wide out to the right, and Lynch is the slot back that way. Nesbitt out to the short side, and they fake the reverse. It is Hewitt on the keeper. And again, the play is made on the corner by Denzel Hinton.
And a great tackle it was, because the fake really took about 3 Trojans away. I was real concerned when I saw 3 Trojans bite on that reverse fake, but they were really out of position. But Hinton made a great tackle on the end.
Good open field tackle by Hinton, who had a terrific defensive series. And it's 4th down, and Hewitt will have to kick. Jonathan Joseph is deep for Northwestern at his 35. Joseph calls fair catch, but gets out of the way, and it takes a big bounce for Dorman down to about the 22.
The 22-yard line. And Northwestern will go on the offense.
Now, Northwestern gets the football back, and again, the defense has been big tonight. They've given up just 1 first down. And the offense, with a 17-play drive, ate up about 7 or 8 minutes there.
And Dorman offensively has been a little more wide open. They've run some reverses. They've looked to throw the ball. The Trojans just sticking with the basics, and it's really working with them so far. Part of that is they're winning the battle at the line of scrimmage on both ends, offensively and defensively.
That's where about 95% of games are won. Ball at the 22, and it's Justin Rainey. And maybe a yard.
Rogers on the stop defensively.
It'll be 2nd down and about 9.
5 minutes to go, first half. Trojans lead 7-0.
Really a pretty basic drive for Northwestern, all of it on the ground. Had some key gains by Jonathan Williams. Picked up a 4th down at the 20. 2nd and 9 here at the Northwestern 23. Running the option, Thompson hit for a loss by Jack Ross.
Ross in there quickly, took Thompson down. He had no options at that point. He had Rainey back there, but Ross was back so quickly. Did the best thing and just took that loss.
You don't want to get wild with the football and just put it up there for grabs. You'll take a loss here, which Northwestern did, a loss of about 3. Well, 4 as they put it down at the 19. 3rd down and 13.
Tough play call here for the Trojans.
Inside give to Williams, short yardage, back to about the original line of scrimmage, and Northwestern will punt the football.
Quick handoff, almost worked again that time, trying to hit it up inside. They picked the right spot. That's where the pressure was coming from for Dorman. But good tackle by the Cavaliers.
Eric Fowler is just across midfield to receive the kick. And it's Kyle Saverance who hits this one a lot better than the last one. Fowler takes it at his 39. Fowler hit at the 48, breaks a tackle. Flag is down, and Fowler is down at about the 48, but let's check the penalties.
It's clearly a block in the back. It was not much contact, and it really didn't help Fowler at all, but it's going to cost the Cavaliers.
Will Currents got down to make the tackle for Northwestern.
Fowler had made 3 Trojans miss. And the fans below were booing, but it was clearly contact made right in the back.
Well, I'm sure Northwestern remembers coming here to the playoffs a year ago and going home losing 36-0 on another rainy night here. Northwestern did get a measure of revenge earlier this season, coming here and winning 21-10. At that time, Dorman was ranked number 1 in the state and number 14 nationally. Dorman starts from the 32, and the fake to Ross, the keep by Hewitt, trying to get to the short side, and is run out of bounds by Denzel Hinton at the 34.
The defensive stop.
Hinton real active on the last couple of defensive series. That time, Dorman tries to run to the short side of the field, and Hinton there to force the quarterback Hewitt out of bounds.
Gain about 2 yards, 2nd down and 8. Last game to be played here. They're building a new stadium, and they're using permanent seat license money to do it. I don't recall that ever having been done for a high school before, much the same as the Panthers did. Here is Hewitt on the play fake again, looking long.
Good
now
pressure.
He's chased. And Hewitt, little shovel flip to Ross, makes one guy miss, but the play only gains about a yard.
Good decision there. He saw Ross out on an island by himself. But great pressure there by the Trojans.
Yeah, Josh Beasley almost had Hewitt for a loss.
And that's a good sign for the Trojans on this wet, sloppy field. The Trojan defenders, that front line, they've been putting good pressure on Hewitt all night. That was a concern once I saw that we were going to be playing in these rainy conditions. You know, that's a big key for the Trojans, and on a slow, wet track, they've done a good job tonight on keeping pressure on Hewitt.
Yeah, speed is so much a part of Northwestern's game. 3rd down and 7. Hewitt steps up, will keep it, has an open field. Hewitt to the 50-yard line and forced out of bounds by Adrian Hart. But a first down for Dorman, just their 2nd of the game.
2:09 left in the first half. Good decision to tuck that and run, and Adrian Hart, likewise for the Trojans, made a good decision. His man tried to take him to the middle of the field, but he knew that Hewitt had passed the line of scrimmage. He left his man and took Hewitt down. If he had not done that, Hewitt could have gone for another 10 or 15 yards easily.
17 yards, and Dorman's biggest play of the night at the Northwestern 48. Coming up on 2 minutes to play in the first half, Northwestern with a 7-0 lead, but Dorman with its first time across midfield. Hewitt has gone from the shotgun the whole night. Here's Ross trying to cut it inside, picks up just a couple.
That time Hinton didn't make the tackle for the Trojans, but he held his blocker up and turned to Ross inside, where other Trojan defenders were waiting.
2nd down and 8 yards.
2nd down and about 8. Clock runs at 1:45. And Dorman really in no hurry here.
Got 2 timeouts remaining, but they need to pick up the pace if they want to try to take this one downfield.
Mark it at the 47, call it 2nd and 9.
Trojans drop back in a pass coverage.
Lions after Hewitt, gets picked off. Hewitt rolls right, still wants to pass, now runs, and is bumped out of bounds inside the 45. Northwestern's come close to Hewitt a number of times. Lions almost had him there, got picked off at the last moment.
That front line has had a lot of success and just spread out equally. Russell comes into the game with 10 sacks, Beasley with 9 sacks, Chris Minton with 8, and Paul Lyons with 9.
So you can't really key on any one guy.
No, it makes it really tough, and they all, like we say, have great speed, and we were just hoping that tonight's conditions would not negate that speed.
3rd and 5. And they swing the ball to Nesbitt, and Nesbitt to the 40-yard line and stop right there, short of the sticks, but there's a flag down.
Corey Harvey just really took him backwards with that hit.
Jarvis Nesbitt looked like he had somewhere to go, but then it closed quickly, and the penalty is against Dorman. It looks like Northwestern wants to take the penalty, although the play was short of a first down. It would bring up 4th down, but Northwestern, instead of 4th and short, is going to mark off the big penalty against Dorman to take it back to the 43.
Would have been 4th and 2, and plus the time clock plays into it. 1:11 left in the first half. Going to make Dorman not only pick up more yardage for a first down, but they've got to be thinking about that clock as well. Clock now running with 1 minute to go.
It's 3rd and about 19 here. Low snap. Hewitt, ball on the ground, and the ball is still loose.
Northwestern
and
has it.
Lyons has it, I think. Paul Lyons on the football for Northwestern.
First turnover of the game, 48 seconds left in the first half. Trojans have not thrown all night, but I tell you what, Jeff, I think you got to put it up at this point. 48 seconds left in the half. Great field position. You got to give it a shot.
And Thompson has shown that he can throw it deep. The ball is at the 36 of Dorman. Boy, you get something here on the board before halftime in the last 48 seconds, and it could be huge. Two receivers to the long side. But they keep it on the ground to Rainey. Rainey breaks it to the outside. Ross hangs on to him and makes the tackle.
And that time, Thompson and Rainey had trouble from the outset holding on to the ball. Thompson bobbled it coming out from center and had trouble putting it into Rainey's hands.
Well, it looked like Rainey might be able to bounce that play outside and pick up some yardage, but Jack Ross coming up and making a short tackle. So the play only got a yard, and Northwestern wants a timeout with 23.5 seconds to play in the half.
Fast Lube and Exxon Quick-See Car Wash and
To the first half. And it is Jonathan Williams for a couple of yards as the clock runs inside of 15 seconds now.
Trojans, I believe, are out of timeouts.
So Northwestern's going to be content to go into the locker room up 7-0. Halfway through the Upper State Championship game, and so far so good for Northwestern. The Trojans 7, the Cavaliers nothing. Aaron Petrulak will kick off for Dorman. First half statistics indicate a defensive game. Northwestern 27 rushes, 104 yards. They did not attempt to pass. Dorman 13 rushes, 45 yards, 41 of those for Andrew Hewitt. Hewitt was 4 of 6 throwing, but for just -1 yard in the air. In the second half kickoff, Jonathan Joseph juggles and gets it at the 15 and has running room. Joseph across the 40, midfield. Petrulak is the only man back, and he makes the tackle at the 30-yard line.
But a great start by the Trojans, gaining great field position. And just as Petrulak kicked that ball, I was saying, Northwestern needs to find a way to do as well on their kickoffs, but Joseph turns that right around and busts through.
Joseph juggled that ball a little bit, got it at the 15, and returns it to the Dorman 30.
His wedge,
55-yard kickoff return.
His wedge had opened an immediate gap for him about 10 yards away from where he received it.
Northwestern leading 7-0. With a chance to go up 2 scores, and that would really make things difficult for Dorman in a hard rain. And here is the quarterback sneak. Bobo Thompson gets nearly 5 yards to about the 25.
A little different look for the Trojans. That time they split tight end Dario Chisholm out in the slot on the right-hand side. Alongside him there, Jason Coleman.
Second and 5 at the 25.
At the 26-yard line.
Northwestern, one of the big things, time of possession, 18 minutes and 12 seconds in the first half. Dorman had it only 5 minutes and 48 seconds.
And a blue Buick Century blocking the kid.
Second and 5 at the Dorman 25, and it's Justin Rainey for nothing.
Trojans, of course, had that 17-play drive in the first half for their only score, but each time they held the ball, they were picking up a couple of first downs on each possession, gaining to that lopsided time of possession between the two.
Chris Swindler made that last tackle.
Big third down here early in the second half.
Jonathan Williams had 38 yards rushing in the first half. Bobo Thompson 34, Justin Rainey 32. 3rd and 5 at the Dorman 25. Running the option. Thompson will keep it. And Thompson dragged down after a short gain. It'll be 4th and about 3.
4-down territory. He picked up a couple of yards, so the Trojans wanted to get something positive out of it. And they did that with 2 yards at least.
4th and about 3 as Jack Ross and Troy Fisher made the tackle at the 23. 4th down, and not a night to kick field goals.
Left side.
Key play here.
Left side will be the strong side of the field, and they've had a lot of success running on that left side.
A good play for Northwestern in the first half was the fullback dive. 4th and 3. Thompson to throw for the first time tonight, and McCrory can't get it in the end zone.
And the Cavaliers hold.
So Dorman takes over on downs. And a big defensive stop for them.
Trey Glover did a good job in man coverage, just getting that inside position, and he would not give it up. Roderick McCrory tried to turn inside, could not do it. Interesting play call, though, going with the pass there on 4th and 3, tried to really catch the Cavaliers off guard.
First Northwestern pass tonight. So Northwestern can't take advantage of the big kickoff return by Jonathan Joseph. Dorman at the 23, and it's Kendrick Lynch trying to get outside and nowhere.
He found a brick wall. Number 93, Paul Lyons.
Lyons recovered a fumble in the first half and makes a big hit on Kendrick Lynch. Second down 11. The play lost a yard, and Lynch had that run end rather suddenly. Textbook tackle by Lyons. Second down 11. Here is Hewitt trying to run right. Not much room. Northwestern strings it out. That play should lose another yard.
Dorman that time had 3 wide receivers to the left side of the field, and they chose to run Hewitt back to the short side.
Josh Beasley in on that tackle.
And really there was nothing there. He tried to just be patient. Thompson has done that for the Trojans a couple of times and picked up some good gainers, but nothing would open up.
It'll be 3rd and call it 11 at the 22. Hewitt goes end around to Lynch. He's tripped up, keeps his feet. Lynch into the secondary at the 40, and Jonathan Joseph makes the tackle at the 44. 22-yard gain, Dorman's biggest play of the night.
That was Justin Rainey, actually, number 5. His jersey's kind of caught up under his pads. Rainey's been coming in a lot, especially on 3rd down defensively, and really tagged the runner there. One Trojan in the backfield almost tripped up the runner there, but he broke free, and the biggest gain of the night.
Well, Lynch did a good job to keep his feet on this bad turf.
He really did. Whoever that Trojan was on the ground got him by the ankles just for a moment and almost tripped him up.
First down at the 44. And Hewitt takes out on the right. Hewitt can't get to the corner. C.J. Barber
with
spins
a
him down.
tackle.
And that play is going to lose about 5.
It's interesting, Jeff, the intensity now picking up in the second half. You can hear the fans here on the Dorman side getting more into it. A lot harder hits, and I think that opening kickoff by the Trojans really stepped up the intensity.
You know, C.J. Barber makes a big stop there. Second down and 15. Just 3 first downs for Dorman tonight. Hewitt, Jarvis Nesbitt off his hands. Incomplete.
3rd down.
Try to set up that inside screen where the far wide receiver tucks back in behind the 2 other receivers. They would act as blockers, but they've had a hard time making the catch on that play.
They've dropped a couple of them tonight. And really, they have negative yardage on their complete passes. Completed 4 in the first half for a total of -1 yard. 3rd and 15. Hewitt steps up. He will run and gets back to about the original line of scrimmage and maybe one more yard to the 45. Looks at 4th and 9.
Great tackle by Corey Harvey in the open field. He made a great tackle. That really looked designed, Jeff. It looked like Hewitt knew he was going to tuck that one and run, let his receivers get 2 or 3 steps downfield, tried to pull in behind that Northwestern pressure and find an opening.
So after the 22-yard run, Northwestern stiffens and forces the kick. Hewitt will kick it to Jonathan Joseph. Joseph watches it bounce. It takes a Northwestern, a Dorman bounce to the 20-yard line.
The 20-yard line.
So Northwestern starts at the 20. 6:12 to play, third quarter. Let's pause for this.
1 out of every 2 area high school graduates who continue their education.
One back behind Bobo Thompson. And they give it to Rainey. And Rainey out across the 25 to about the 28. Good gain on first down.
First time tonight the Trojans have gone with 4 wideouts. One thing that accomplishes, of course, is it pulls more defenders out away from the ball, gives a little more running room up that middle. I think the wind is also picking up some in the second half. You can see the umbrellas blowing below us.
Well, it's gotten colder, too. Boy, tough conditions, and those 7 points are huge. It's just really tough to play come from behind football, and under any conditions really against that Northwestern defense, hard to mount much of an offense. 18 quarters now, and the Northwestern starting defense has given up only 3 points, and that coming after the turnover against Rock Hill.
Yeah, a night when the Trojans had 5 turnovers and their defense was stingy. They just couldn't quite hold the Bearcats off.
Well, they turned it over, stopped them on 3 downs, forced a missed field goal, and then on the first play they turned it over again, stopped them on 3 downs, but Robert Worley kicked the field goal for Rock Hill, the only points of that game. 2nd down and 2 at the 28. And here's the sneak by Thompson, and he is stopped.
Thompson with the carry.
Short of the sticks. Didn't get much, if anything.
Looked like he had a good line penetration, but someone was able to pull him backwards.
I think it was Zach Farr. It'll be 3rd down and 2. It looked like Northwestern was moving Dorman, that pile, back up the field, but the ball didn't move with it.
Someone knifed in between the offensive linemen and took Thompson backwards.
3rd and 2. Thompson to Williams, bounces off the first guy. I think he has the first down. Looks like he's just across the 30.
It's going to be close, and one of the last tacklers came in from behind and actually pushed him forward a bit as he made the tackle.
From here, it looks like it's enough, and it is.
So a big first down. Of course, one of the keys in the second half for the Trojans is they pick up first downs. They're going to keep their offense on the field. They're going to run that clock down quicker.
Hold on to the ball and run the clock. And Northwestern did a great job of doing that in the first half.
One back set with 3 wideouts this time for the Trojans on first down.
And here's Rainey. Rainey gets about 3.
Swindler and McKenzie on the stop defensively.
2nd down at about the 33.
I do like the fact that the Trojans have put the ball up, though, in the second half. We were speculating at halftime after that fumble recovery under a minute to go, and Trojans chose not to pass, and maybe they wouldn't put it up as long as they had the lead, but it's going to keep Dorman honest, that 4th down play where they did put it up and go for the end zone.
2nd down, 7 here. Williams. And Williams with a good effort. That's about 5 yards to the 38.
Pulls his way forward. He hit his offensive line, helped his offensive lineman with a pancake block, actually, number 63
Jack Ross.
for the Trojans. Matt Garner was able to pancake his defender with a little help from Williams.
So it'll be 3rd down and 2 at the 38.
3 minutes to go, third quarter.
This game has moved quickly. Clock has run almost the whole time. 3rd and 2. Here is Thompson, tripped up at the line of scrimmage.
Well defense by Dorman. They were waiting for that option play.
And it was Chris Swindler who made the tackle. Would not let Thompson turn upfield, so 4th down. And Kyle Severance on to punt.
Severance will drop back in punt formation.
Eric Fowler is deep.
Good punt by Severance.
And Fowler watches it roll. 15, 14, 13-yard line.
Great way to change field position. Key punt there by Severance.
Kyle had some problems early in the game, but gets off a beauty there. Dorman at the 13-yard line. That's a 50-yard kick. And 2:11 to go, 3rd quarter, Northwestern by 7, and we'll be back with the door to Jack Ross, who's really been quiet tonight. And Ross tackled after maybe a yard.
Chris Minton in for the Trojans quickly.
Ross has been their man all year, but in the first half, Ross caught 2 passes for a total of 1 yard, carried the ball 3 times for 4 yards.
He's been coming on strong. Had an 18-yard TD run last week, plus a 22-yard pass reception that set up a second Dorman touchdown.
2nd down, call it 9 at the 14. Quarterback draw by Hewitt, and Hewitt is tackled near the line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd and long.
Minton on the stop.
Chris Minton again. I think Jake Russell also there. So it's 3rd down and 9.
Dorman looking a little more to Hewitt on some design quarterback draws. He did a good job when his receivers couldn't get open in the first half of picking up yardage, gaining 41 of their 45 on the ground.
Hewitt back to throw. Rolls right, chased by Russell. And run out of bounds.
And a
4th down.
great decision there. Denzel Hinton coming on strong in pursuit, and Hewitt actually looked like he might have tried to pick up a penalty there by taking a little sidestep out of bounds, and Hinton did a great job just to avoid that contact and not pick up a silly penalty.
Good pressure by Jake Russell to run him out.
Excellent pressure.
4th and 9, and Hewitt will kick. And Northwestern really has nobody deep. And again, takes a Dorman bounce to about the 38. So Dorman, the top offensive team in the region, held to just 3 first downs so far. .419 3rd quarter, Northwestern hanging on to a 7-0 38 for Northwestern. Here is Justin Rainey trying to get outside. Rainey crosses the 40 and gets up to about the 45, crosses the 45. Good effort by Rainey as Galen Gilliam made the tackle, and Rainey gave him a ride for a couple of more yards. And we said it was .419. Actually, it was like 41.9 seconds and the clock running out in the 3rd quarter. This has been a very fast-moving quarter, and that should be the last play in it. So Northwestern is 12 minutes away from going to Columbia next week. It's 7-0 Northwestern as we will go to the 4th quarter. 2nd down and 2, Northwestern on its 46 as we start the 4th. Jonathan Williams muscling his way near midfield. He should have a first down at the 49.
Trey Hernandez that time just blew his man off the line 2 yards, enabling Williams the room for that first down.
Looks like they want to bring the sticks in. See where they mark it. It looks like the 49, and it, I think, should be enough. But we'll let the officials measure for it. Well, we're just underway in the 4th quarter. Northwestern with a 7-0 lead. The 17-play touchdown drive that covered about half the 1st quarter and half the 2nd. 82 yards. And Jonathan Williams with a 2-yard run to get in.
First down for the Trojans.
Northwestern has the first down at the 49. Defense has really put the clamps on Dorman. Dorman had the ball just over 5 minutes in the first half.
Time of possession, not much better. We just got the stats after the third quarter. The Trojans have held the ball 25 minutes, 14 seconds to Dorman's 10 minutes, 46 seconds.
First down at the 49. Northwestern trying to take some more time off that clock. Here is Rainey across the 50 to about the 48-yard line for a gain of about 3.
Trojans very balanced tonight offensively. Justin Rainey after the third period, 51 yards rushing. Jonathan Williams, 45, and Bobo Thompson, 41. Trojans 137 total yards on the ground, no yards passing.
Well, you adjust your game plan to the conditions, and I think Northwestern's done a great job of that.
They certainly have.
You know, the 4 remaining teams, of course, the 2 from Spartanburg, the 2 from Rock Hill, have just played nail-biters every time that they've matched up this year. Don't expect anything else. Here's Rainey hit behind the line of scrimmage. Got back to the line of scrimmage, maybe just a little bit more.
McKenzie,
maybe a half a yard.
The charge for the Cavaliers.
But it's going to be third down and still about 7.
Trojans would like to pick this one up, mainly just to keep that clock running, but take it deep in Dorman territory. Tell you, if they could pick up a score at this point in the game, that would be huge.
Lee McKenzie in on that last tackle. Third down and 7. Roderick McCrory is wide out to the right. Galen Gilliam matches up with him.
Williams, a fullback, out over the tight end in the slot.
And they run Rainey, hit behind the line of scrimmage, and it'll be fourth down. Emil Gibson, the North-South All-Star, in on the play, along with sideline. Overthrown. Good coverage by Adrian Hart, with Fowler, the intended receiver.
Hart, with great coverage, he had more of a chance to make that catch than did the receiver.
One good thing that Northwestern's done tonight, no penalties. And they had only 1 penalty for 5 yards last week. And, you know, penalties have been something that have been a problem for Northwestern this year.
I was really concerned going into the playoffs at that, and the fact that they had the 5 turnovers at Rock Hill, that they really needed to remedy both of those to go far in the playoffs, and they've done it.
Ball on the ground as Kendrick Lynch couldn't hold it. Northwestern's got it at the 10-yard line.
Official says the Trojans have it.
Trojans had a huge play.
And I think it was Juwan Marshall, and it was on the football as Kendrick Lynch couldn't hold it.
He just never really had that ball, Jeff. It went squirting out as he was trying to make that end. And there were a lot of Trojan defenders over about as far away as you could be from our vantage point, so couldn't quite tell who the Trojan was on the ball.
Marshall. Juwan Marshall recovered it. And Northwestern has it at the 11-yard line. Any kind of a score here would really be huge. Ball on the ground.
Loose.
And let's see if Thompson got it back. I think he did. Northwestern keeps it, and just Thompson's reflexes enabling Northwestern not to turn it right back. Second down. They're at the 11. Northwestern up 7. It has rained all night. And you go up by 2 scores, and you really make it very difficult for Dorman. Here's Williams, hit behind the line of scrimmage and stopped at the 10. And Dorman thinks they have it, but they don't.
Third down coming.
Dorman's starting to win some of those battles on the line of scrimmage now. The Trojans have got to come up with something here on a third down from the 10-yard line. They've been running left pretty successfully all night, but on this last series they were stopped twice, and here on this play, trying again to go left, the Cavaliers are there.
Well, I think Northwestern wants to get the ball in the middle of the field. The field not in good shape, but if you can kick a field goal here, you go up by 10.
And they really have not played on that end of the field tonight, so it's pretty dry.
Here is Thompson. Great play, Bobo.
That's it. Great play, Thompson.
Boy, he was stopped dead to rights, and somehow he bounced off, spun back toward the middle, kept his feet, 10-yard touchdown run, maybe the biggest play all year.
Two defenders back there for the Cavaliers had him wrapped up. They sat there after the play, heads down, saying what had happened as Bobo spun away from him and waltzed into the end zone.
And Northwestern takes advantage of the turnover and puts it in the end zone. A great play by Bobo Thompson. Here is Kyle Saverance for the extra point. William Wright to hold. And Northwestern is up by 2 scores.
The kick is up.
Saverance extra point makes it 14-0. 7:27 to go. And had a great game last week. And terrific effort here. It looked like he was stopped. But Thompson bounced off a couple of tacklers, kept his feet, 10-yard touchdown run, and Northwestern up 14-0 with 7:27 to play. And here's Kyle Saverance to kick off. And now it's Jonathan Williams going to kick off for Northwestern. Williams kicks it short at the sideline. It is Lynch who stepped out of bounds at about the 27.
30-yard line.
Again, Dorman has a long field to work with. .727 when Thompson scored. There was 7:29 to go in the first half when Jonathan Williams scored. Call it the 27-yard line for Dorman. And they've got to do something with the football here. They've managed only 3 first downs tonight. Low snap. Hewitt picks it up. Hinton after him. Hinton's got him. Hinton's got him.
Great play, Hinton.
Loss of 8.
The low snap helped, but Hinton just fought off his man and took Hewitt to the sideline.
2nd down and 18.
Hinton looks like he's shaking up a little. He's holding that right arm. A little bit funny. Looked like he'd like to come out, but he's still going to stay in at this point.
Yeah, Denzel's played a great game. 2nd down, 18. Hewitt back. Steps up in the pocket.
Good pressure.
Scrambles right. Throws on the run to the sideline off the hands of Lynch, who got hammered after the play. No whistle. No flag. C.J. Barber hit Lynch, but close enough to when the ball got there, so there was no flag.
6:36 to go. Trojans up by 2 scores. It's going to be 3rd and long for the Cavaliers, about 17 to make the first down.
And here's where Northwestern's defense will really tee off and come after Hewitt. The front 4 will be coming after him hard now. They know he's got to throw. And he's got to take some time to go upfield. Hewitt.
Blitz up the middle.
Swing pass. Ross couldn't hold it.
Trojans brought 5 that time. They stunned it a little with a blitz up the middle. Got some pretty good pressure, but once again, the Cavaliers unable to execute and make the catch.
Well, Jack Ross has dropped a couple tonight, which is very unlike him. And Hewitt will have to kick a key series, and they go 3 and out and lose 8 yards in the process. 6:31 to play. Nobody back deep. Northwestern doesn't want to risk a fumble. The ball rolls inside the 30 down to the 26.
26-yard line.
And Northwestern now will try to take as much time off the clock as possible.
And the Trojans will go on the
We'll have the Northwestern offensive series after this. Northwestern with a 14-0 lead. 6 minutes, 19 seconds away. Jonathan Williams hit at the line of scrimmage and pushed back. Dorman trying to strip the ball out of there. They think they have it, but Northwestern keeps it.
And that's what's so crucial at this point of the game with just under 6 minutes to go. The Trojans, make sure you make a clean snap and then hold on to that ball tightly. Cavaliers trying to strip it on every play. They need to give their offense a short field to work with, down 2 scores. Cavaliers only one loss this year on this field to these very Trojans. They're 6 minutes away from not being able to defend their state title in next week's championship game.
Rainey. Short yardage. It'll be third down. Well, you know, since Jimmy Wallace has been the coach at Northwestern, they've played for the state championship every 4 years. 89, 93, 97, and we're due. And now we are 5 minutes and 15 seconds away from being there in 2001.
Union 6, Greer 0.
3rd and 8 at the 28.
Batesville, Leesville 12, Abbeville 0. Spartanburg 22, Rock Hill 9.
Here is Rainey trying to get to the outside. 30, 35, first down the sideline is Rainey. Stays in bounds. Goodbye.
What a run by Rainey.
72 yards.
I was about to applaud him for staying in to keep the clock going. And then what did he do? He just bounced off a couple of would-be tacklers, kept his balance, and took it the rest of the way, another 50 yards after that last hit.
72 yards, Rainey has apparently put this one away. 2 scores in the 4th quarter. And Northwestern up 20-0 with Saverance on for the extra point.
4th quarter has been nice here in Dorman this year twice.
Saverance kick is no good. Somebody got that one. So Northwestern with a 20-0 lead, 4:42 to play.
Fast Lube and Exxon Quixie Car Wash and Food Mart.
To Northwestern, 21-10. Right now it's 21-0, or 20-0. Northwestern about to do it to him again. Jonathan Williams kickoff to Kendrick Lynch at the 15. Lynch across the field, cut down at about the 35.
Up to the 35-yard line.
Brandon Pay with the tackle there for the Trojans. Took his time, measured his man, and made a nice hit to take him down.
Well, I think the deepest Dorman has been tonight. He has been to the, Northwestern 48? I think just...
That's another thing. You know, the Trojans here are on the verge of their 3rd straight shutout in the playoffs. Just 4:34 remains.
Yeah, Dorman has not been close to scoring tonight. This is a team that's averaged about 34 points a game. First down at the 35. Hewitt. And this one caught by Eric Fowler at midfield. Tackled by Broderick McCrory.
That'll actually put Dorman in positive yards for passing. At the end of 3 quarters, they had -1 yard passing.
And that from a Shrine Bowl quarterback. You know, Bobo Thompson outplayed a North-South All-Star last week. And his passing numbers are not going to be much to look at, but he's done a great job. Here's Jack Ross.
Jack Ross on the carry.
Inside the Northwestern 45, Dorman's deepest penetration all night. It comes with 4 minutes to play.
Harper on the stop, second down.
Gained of 7 yards to the 43. 2nd and 3.
Denzel Hinton continues to struggle forward. He looks like he's got maybe a shoulder injury. He's just kind of shrugs it off and continues to play on.
Hewitt bounced it, intended for Fowler. 3rd and 3.
Corey Harvey there and inside coverage, just trying to reach back and tip that one. Couldn't quite grasp it.
You know, you can't say enough about the Northwestern defense. And the offense has done its part tonight, too. Good job of controlling the ball, holding on to it, keeping the defense off the field. 3rd and 3. Hewitt steps up, down he goes. Minton makes the tackle.
By Chris Minton.
Chris Minton gets the sack.
4th down coming.
That'll be his 9th sack of the season.
Been that kind of a night. At the 47. 4th and about 8. Less than 3 minutes to play. Hewitt on 4th down. Has some time, and Mitten's got him again.
Got him again. Great job.
Great coverage as Hewitt just couldn't find anybody downfield, and Mitten finally came through and makes the sack, his second in as many plays. And Northwestern will try and run the clock out on this one.
Puts him in double figures for the year and ties him for the team lead with 10 sacks along with Jake Russell. Josh Beasley, Paul Lyons, each with 9. So once again, just another example of how even that defense is in all their statistical categories. And as you said very early in the game, you just can't key in on 1 or 2 defenders. They're just so balanced throughout that defense.
Well, it's a great defense, and it's really, it's a cliche, but it's a team defense. There's short yardage for Jonathan Williams. They just play great team defense. There's really nobody who's that much of an all-world player, really, that you look at as a high school All-America. You've just got 11 guys who can run and like to hit and carry out their assignments on every play. 2nd down as we come up on 2 minutes to play. At the Dorman 38. Jonathan Williams again, just hanging on to the ball. So Northwestern will have a date in Columbia, play for the state championship, looks like against Spartanburg. And that'll be next Saturday at 2 o'clock.
Spartanburg team that came into District 3 and came away with a victory against these Trojans.
And that was a game that, really like all 3 games at Northwestern, has lost a key turnover in that game.
Key turnover late in the game set up that final Spartanburg score.
And again, Williams just hanging onto the ball. 1:20 and running, and it'll be 4th down.
4th down.
So Dorman has not been able to get inside the 40-yard line of Northwestern. They'll call it timeout here with 1:14 to go. And Northwestern that close to playing for the state championship, leading 20-0.
Hey guys, welcome to Cafe Dom's. There's a car out front with the Burns license plate on. It's got its lights on. Excuse me, everyone. There's a car in the parking lot with a Burns Ford tag that has their lights on.
See for yourself why so many...
Reference will kick for Northwestern. He stands at midfield. Dorman's going to rush everybody. Bad snap. And the ball on the ground, and Dorman will have the ball short of midfield.
First turnover of the night for the Trojans. Cavaliers fumbled twice. That second fumble was the key. Northwestern was set up at the 11 and took it in a few plays later to go up 14-0.
Well, Northwestern has really played mistake-free football up until that play. And it doesn't look like that play is going to be a difference maker. We have just 1 minute and 8 seconds to go, and Dorman will get the ball on its 48. Hewitt. His pass is almost intercepted. That was Rainey, I think. Yeah.
Rainey.
Rainey takes a playful kick from Denzel Hinton. He had that interception go off his hands.
Hinton's still talking to him.
Yeah, he wraps his arm around him.
And Hewitt looked that way because he had 3 wideouts left, but the Trojans were late in getting coverage on this right receiver. Rainey came over late and was almost in position to make that interception.
There's a penalty against Dorman. Northwestern, no penalties tonight. didn't have a turnover until that bad snap on a punt. And now Northwestern wants a timeout just to savor the moment, I think. Minute 2 to go, 20-0, Northwestern.
For good.
This has really been a player for them. Over 1,000 yards rushing and a big receiver out of the backfield, and he's just done nothing for him tonight. Well, he had that 1 yard, that one run of about 7 yards. Other than that, I think he's less than 10 yards for the game combined. Hewitt's pass is high and incomplete, intended for Eric Fowler. And it'll be 4th down.
Just under 25 seconds left in the game.
Broderick McCrory was back there defensively for Northwestern.
Personal foul on the Trojans on that play. Didn't see where that came in, somewhere maybe along the line.
Well, that's Northwestern's first penalty tonight. And takes the ball to the Dorman 49. So it's still going to be 4th down, 4th and 9. As apparently that was a dead ball penalty. And with 25 seconds to go, Dorman will get another play here, 4th down.
Trojans wanting to preserve the shutout. They've got Jonathan Joseph as a deep safety. He's 20 yards, 25 now off the line of scrimmage.
Northwestern looking for its 3rd consecutive shutout. First-string defense hasn't given up a touchdown in just this short of 5 games now. Hewitt rolls and throws under pressure. Incomplete on 4th down.
And the Trojan offense will come down and down it to end the game. We've got 15 seconds left in the game.
Travis Hill forced that last incompletion with good pressure on Hewitt. And Northwestern has come in here and just executed its game plan to perfection. They've totally shut down Dorman's offense. They have been effective on the ground. They've kept the ball for long stretches of the game. Kept Dorman's offense off the field for most of the night. When Dorman's offense was on the field, they really couldn't do anything. Time for the kneel down. And that'll do it.
And so the clock will run.
So Northwestern, which had its season ended here last year, being shut out, returns the favor, 20-0. Northwestern and the Trojans are on a roll going into the state championship game.
They're playing great, and a couple of the players there, they're taking dives along the puddles and the sidelines. The fans who have weathered this whole game on the opposite side are coming out to congratulate the Trojan players. Just a great all-around effort. Defense played solid throughout, and the offense, as you said, Jeff, they just did what they had to. They got the yards when they needed it. They controlled the ball. They changed field position and kept Dorman off the field offensively, which was a key factor tonight.
And probably the key plays came early in the 4th quarter when a fumble was recovered by Juwan Marshall on the 11-yard line, and on 3rd down, Bobo Thompson made a great run getting into the end zone and giving Northwestern the 2-touchdown lead, and then later in the quarter, Justin Rainey broke one for 72 yards to put it away.
Great effort. The Trojans now on that 4-year cycle will travel to Columbia next week for the state championship game, and we'll be there to cover it for CN2.
And it's the end of an era here at Dorman. The last game played at Martin Stadium. They'll be into a new facility next year. Great way to end the season. Region 2 in its last year, 4 teams battling for the state championship, and now it's down to 2, and Northwestern will be there next week, and we'll have it for you from Williams-Brice. So, Jim, I hope you had a good Thanksgiving, and we'll see you next week.
Had a great one. Enjoyed being here with you again this week, Jeff.
20-0, our final. Northwestern wins the Upper State Championship game at Dorman. We'll talk to you with the state championship game next week from Columbia. Have a good night, everybody.